What's going on, people? What's going on? Double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up. We got a lot of work to do. I said I was going to come on live, and that's if you were on my live stream on my Raw channel. I said I was coming back on, and I decided to pretty much come back in so we could cook. So let me set this thing up. Give me a minute, guys. Again, as you come in, be sure to hit that like button.
Need an easier way to work on your...
Right? We're going to be talking about an interesting topic here that I think a lot of people will, you'll learn a lot from, Definitely will learn a lot from this. But let me set this thing up. Okay. All right. Okay. What's going on, Enrich, Shatika? What's going on? What's going on? So, guys, as you come in, if you're new to the platform, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hope everybody's having a blessed day wherever you are in the world. So, what exactly is the topic? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. We're going to be doing a reaction about Tariq Nasheed's claims FBA ancestors killed Sean Grayson in prison over Sonya Massey. My objective and purpose for this particular live stream is to try to reach so-called Black Americans. There is a movement that has divided the Black community. It has caused a lot of hate, violence within the Black community, if there is a community. And that movement was started by Tariq Nasheed, and it's called FBA. This particular movement, FBA, stands for Foundational Black American. It is a grassroots movement that focuses on lineage, fight for reparations, delineation, all this mumbo jumbo that a lot of Black folk have been, I guess, getting influenced by, because they're in search of an identity. So Tariq Nasheed gave them an identity. And through this identity, there's a lot of witchcraft involved. And what I'm trying to show you guys is, if you're Black, just be Black and live your life. Because all of these grassroots movements, these new religions, all this mess is just designed to take your money. At the end of the day, Tariq just want money. A lot of these content creators that push this ideology of FBA, Foundational Black Americans, it is just a grift to get money. And I've been trying to wake Black people up for a long time, and I am always attacked by this cult called FBA. They are a hate group that, from the surface levels, it appears like something good. It appears like they care about the community. But when you really dig a little deeper and you start looking within, you start to realize it's a sick organization of individuals that are racist towards their own people. Let me give you a little fun facts. Some of you that might be viewing, you might be from the Caribbean. Some of you might have parents that are immigrants. especially if you live here in America. Labor Day is supposed to be coming up soon, so in New York, the Labor Day parade is going to feature a lot of people that represent their flags, where their family is from, and they all live within the Black community. But this movement called FBA divided us, because if you're not careful, guys, you'll get suckered in this thing, and there's a lot of danger. And if you listen long enough to this live stream and pay attention, you're going to wake up. Once you wake up, you're going to be free. Nobody's going to be able to deceive you. Let's say you live in New York and you're Jamaican. Maybe you were born in America, but your family, your father is probably from Jamaica. Maybe your mother is an American Black woman. The FBA movement would consider you to be a tether, because they don't see Black people that are from the Caribbean, any sort of Black immigrant. They don't look at you as a Black man or a Black woman. They just don't see you that way. That's the deception that I think a lot of people don't know about, and a lot of people are blindly following this cult, and their leader is Tariq Nasheed. They like to say that this movement don't have a leader, but they would not know about it if it wasn't for Tariq Nasheed. So he's the leader, right? So now let me explain a little bit more. How many of you that are viewing are from Panama? My mother is from Panama, Colón, Panama. My father was born in America. His daddy, born in America. And as you go down, they were all born in America. So being that my mother's from Panama, all I heard in the house is Spanish. All I heard from my mother's side of the family is nothing but Panamanians. Everybody speaking Spanish, right? So I was raised in Panamanian culture and American culture at the same time. Even though my father is American, he's an Army vet, served the U.S. military. And for some reason, on social media by the FBA cult, they called me a tether. Even though I was born in America, they don't care. Because my mom is from Panama, they say, oh, you're a tether. Now, why do they call you tether, and what does that mean? The word tether is the equivalent of the N-word, but worse. It is a racial derogatory term labeled on Black people that FBA followers deem outcasts. If you have immigrant parents, you will be called a tether by any FBA follower. They recently updated their software, so you got to be mindful of the deception. They updated the software because they realized that the group is coming across as hateful, racist, and in order to attract followers, they have to make you feel comfortable. Similar to when you go to church, a pastor will tell you what you want to hear in order to make you feel good, so that you can give them your money. Do you see my point? So what they're doing now is they're trying to readjust the message to say, well, we accept you if you're an immigrant as long as you don't speak against us. That's the deception. Deep down inside, they don't respect you if you are Jamaican, Panamanian, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuban, Haitian, Grenadian, Trinidadian, Guyanese, you're from Barbados, wherever you're from, if you're a so-called Black man, Black woman from the Caribbean or other parts of the world, the FBA community do not consider you to be black at all. They look at you as a tether. Recently, we saw a lot of deportations. We saw a lot of issues with Haitians, our Haitian brothers and sisters, dealing with a lot of issues. And the FBA community basically was calling them tethers and outcast them. And it's really disgusting because when you look at the world we live in, there's so much hate, there's so much racism. And it seems as if though black people, of all people, should have an understanding of what it means to unite. But what the FBA movement has been doing thus far, primarily on social media, is divide black people so that we can fight one another, so that there's no unity. And it's a disgusting thing. And I've been battling against this cult for a long time. And I'm not afraid of them because I know that a lot of you out there are intelligent people. And it is very hateful for this group to discriminate against you because of the fact that your mother may be an immigrant and came to America and was able to be successful. The FBA community believe that if you are of immigrant parents or if you came from another country and you're a black man, black woman, if they believe that when you come to America and you have culture and you decide to work hard, earn a dollar, work a job, start a business, and become successful, they look at it as you're taking advantage of the opportunities they gave you, which is crazy because they didn't give you no opportunity. If a black man and a black woman live in America and you came to America via your parents from another country and you became successful after working hard and going to school, that is something you accomplished. Nobody gave you a handout, but the FBA community believe that you are somehow benefiting off their plight. Really, they struggle with jealousy. And this is one of the biggest problems within the black community. A lot of Caribbean people, they come to America and they work hard. A lot of Haitians, a lot of Jamaicans, Trinidadian, they come here, they start businesses, they start restaurants. They work very hard, man. And they become successful. You go all throughout Flatbush. Every restaurant that is owned by a black person, they're from the Caribbean. All of them. There are no so-called black American businesses on Flatbush Avenue selling you food, on Utica selling you food, on Church Avenue selling you food. None. None. So if the truth be told, the black immigrant, the ones that FBA are jealous of, bring to the United States the good food you enjoy, the music you enjoy. I've seen FBA content creators claim that all these black people from the Caribbean and other parts of the world, that they got their culture and their music from black Americans. That's a lie. You know where everybody get their music and rhythm from? Africa. Africa is where all rhythm come from. Doesn't matter where you're from. Every form of music derived from Africa. That is a fact. How many of you enjoy Nigerian music? African music? The rhythms. You ever notice how the rhythms put you in a mood? You can't even explain it. It just sounds good. It has energy. Where do you think all the genres of music come from? Comes from Africa. The FBA community believed that they started all of this. That's a lie. The FBA community believed that they were living in America before anybody was here. That don't make no sense. If that's true, then that casts out what the Bible says in regards to the slave ships, that the so-called black man, black woman going to be sold into slavery, and they're going to be on the transatlantic slave trade. How do you think those ships were filled up with? What do you think they were? If black people were already here, where the slave ships come from? You were brought here. So technically, when you see someone saying they're FBA, that they're a foundational black American, that don't even make any sense, because they're a foreigner too. That's why it's bullcrap when you really think about it. They believe that you're a foreigner, that you're an immigrant. But the truth is, nobody is from America. Everybody that come here came from somewhere else, including the so-called black man, black woman that endorse FBA. Do you understand? How many of you enjoy dance hall music, reggae music, calypso, soca, club music? What is that African style? It's called Appy Piano, something like that. It's a style of music that is just dope as heck. All of these different music come from culture. Culture. That's why when you have the Labor Day parade, it's all about music and culture. Now, of course, in New York, there's been a lot of violence. But if you really, really think about it, it's not coming from the people that truly go to the Parkway to enjoy the culture, the food, the music. It's not coming from them. You know who it's coming from? The so-called American black man that was born here. That's right. Because when people go to the Parkway and they set up their trucks, their food, their venues, all their stuff, they're not looking for violence. They want to have a good time. They want to party, bacchanal, all them thing them. That's what they want to do. But there's always a gun. There's always somebody shooting. There's always somebody doing some evil. But the FBA community don't take responsibility and say, wait a minute, I know where the violence is coming from. Instead, they blame you and say that because you come to America that you're benefiting off of them. No, that's not how it works. Each and every immigrant that comes to America understand that they have to work hard in order to make it. It's something about an immigrant parent that bring you in this land. They teach you the importance of education, working hard, going to school. You can't miss your class. You got to get a job. You got to do this. You got to be good at what you do. You understand? But the black man and the black woman that was born in America, for some reason, keep complaining about white supremacy, about the white man, about racism. But when a black immigrant come here, he don't do that. Because he understands that there's an opportunity to become successful, to raise a family. So what I'm seeing from the FBA movement is jealousy, guys. It's jealousy that they have for immigrants that are black. They don't like the fact that you have the drive, the willpower to make it in America. So they want to shame you and call you a tether. Now, I said all of that to set the stage because Tariq Nasheed is claiming that the ancestors killed Sean Grayson in prison over Sonya Massey. Now, who is Sonya Massey? Sonya Massey is a black woman that had some sort of mental health issues. She called the police. She called the police and pretty much wanted them to scan the perimeter of her house because she thought there was a burglar or somebody out there, right? So the police come there and they looking around. They don't find nobody. They end up going inside her house. She was boiling water on the stove. One thing lead to another. The lady said something, and the cop got nervous. The lady said, "I rebuke that in the name of Jesus." The cop don't understand what that means. He said, "Rebuke what? You better not." And so she basically was, I guess, repeating the same thing. He point his gun. She get nervous. She duck. He shoot her in the face, and he kill her. He killed the woman. He ended up getting 2 decades in prison. He ended up dying in prison due to stage 4 cancer. I made a video about this earlier on my Ringo TV Raw channel. It's my smaller platform. And I talked about this. And we talked about Sean Grayson and what he did was wrong. We held him accountable. But what we didn't do is we didn't make a mockery because he had cancer. My mom passed away due to cancer. So I understand that that's nothing to laugh about. That's nothing to mock. It's not a game. At the same time, what he did to Sonya Massey was wicked. He got out easy because why? He never really got to serve the time, you know? But the cancer took him out. He had the cancer when he shoot her. So now, black influencers who are a part of the FBA movement are celebrating the death of Sean Grayson. They're on social media right now celebrating that he's dead. Now, I don't know about you folks, but we all gotta die someday. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how much money you got. You are going to die. And there's nothing you could do about it. Right? So I'm trying to figure out, why are they celebrating the man's death because he died of cancer? I'm not making excuses for him. What he did was wicked. It's wrong. I'm not defending the white man. I'm not doing none of that. But my point is, you don't celebrate because he had cancer and say that's good for him. It's good he have cancer. It's good. And what I'm seeing from the FBA community is they're saying the ancestors killed Sean Grayson. Now, here's the problem. If you are black and you are a person who believes in Jesus Christ, you're a Christian, a Bible believer, or whether you call yourself a Christian or whatever, if you're a believer, you cannot practice the worship of ancestors. The worship of the dead is forbidden according to the Bible. Saying that there's a spirit guide that's guiding you, that's witchcraft. That's not from the Bible. Claiming that your ancestors are communicating with you, you are practicing sorcery. That is not Bible. The one who's supposed to be guiding you is the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's your guide. He's the one you pray to, not the dead. There are no ancestors that are working behind the scenes to make sure everything is good for you. The dead is dead. Dead people cannot talk to you. Do you understand? So what I'm going to show you is Tariq Nasheed claiming that dead people, the ancestors, whoever they may be, killed Sean Grayson. So I want to know from you, do you worship the dead? Do you worship the dead? Because if you do, you're inviting spirits into your life. This cult called FBA, Foundational Black Americans, is a cult built upon witchcraft. I, Ringo TV, am not attacking black people because black people are my people. What I am speaking against is a cult, an evil organization that have plagued the black community and caused nothing but division and hate, to where we're hating our Jamaican brothers, hating our Haitian brothers and sisters, hating our Panamanian brothers and sisters, hating these people for no reason. They call you a tether if you speak against them. If you question them, they'll say you're trying to work against their efforts. They'll hate you more than they hate the white man. This is what they do. So I'm saying all of that because if we don't learn how to work together, what is the old saying? United we stand, divided we fall. So if black people as a whole is divided, we can't build nothing. The only time you see black people together as one is on Labor Day. That's when all of the people is on the parkway dancing up. You don't care about nothing else. The music, the vibe, the girls, the women, everybody partying, everybody having a good time. Those of you that go to Juve, you don't look and say, oh, where you come from? What is your this? You from Jamaica? You from Trinidad? You from Panama? Where you from? You don't care. As long as there's music, there's food, people having fun, that's all that matters, man. You don't look at people and say, oh, you FBA? Where your father from? What's your lineage? Nobody does that. But for some reason, this cult is so wicked, man. It's evil. I've been hated by this cult. They call me tether every day, thinking that's hurting my feelings. I don't care. Call me what you want. It's not hurting me. I'm still reaching the people, regardless. And I'll reach more people than you folks that hate me. Because as long as you have intelligence, you're going to be okay. Because you're eventually going to wake up. If the words I'm saying resonate with you, double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up. You got 300 people. I only got 50 likes. There's 350 people in the building. There's only 50 likes on the video. I don't know what's going on, but if you like the video, double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up. That's what you should do to show YouTube that the message is reaching you. Because I'm telling you right now, man, it is difficult to open the mind and the eyes of the blind. Most people don't want to wake up. It's like the Matrix. Morpheus told Neo, most people don't want to wake up. They want to sleep. Lazy people want to sleep all day. They don't want to work. They don't want to work. They don't want to make no money. They just want to sit around all day. Listen, you could get mad, you can cry, but I'll tell you one thing. You go to New York and you walk the streets of Brooklyn. Every black foreigner, whether they were born in America and have immigrant parents, I guarantee you they at work or they start a business. But most of the American born black, not all, but the majority, black men don't want to work. He want to live off the woman. How many of you ladies have a man that's living off you? You the one that work. You the one that punch the clock. You go to work, you come home, you have to cook, clean, take care of the kids, and then he expect you to love him up. And he don't want to work. He don't want to do nothing. He don't want to go get a job. He don't want to start a business. He don't want to be an entrepreneur. He just want to sit down all day. Think about how many women are working every day. They go to school and they working and they take care of them damn children at the same time. And what is the baby father doing? Nothing. Sitting there complaining about the white man or playing video games. Talking about, babes, can you go get me the game? The new game just came out. Can you go buy it for me, please? No. You shouldn't be buying nothing. So now, I want to get into these tapes, guys. This is very important. Let me show you who Tariq Nasheed is, just in case you don't know who he is. This man is a pimp. A very wicked man who is using the black community for money. Of course, we live in a capitalistic society. Everybody want to make a money. Everybody want to make a dollar. But what he's doing is he's selling you false hope of reparations, false hope of unity. And at the same time, he's teaching you to rebel against God so that you can worship him. He's using witchcraft, sorcery. This man is a warlock, a high-level warlock, wicked beyond measure. I want you to listen to this, guys, as we play this tape. Let's get into it now. That was my introduction. I know it's long, but in order for you to learn, you got to pay attention. Too many people have short attention span. They come to the page, they listen for 5 seconds, and they swipe, and they go to another place. Never got to hear anything. Let's go.
I'm just waiting on the room to pile all the way up. We still got a lot of folks coming in the room. Shout out to everybody in here. A lot of folks in here very quickly. But yeah, we're going to talk about spiritual energy. We're going to get deep tonight.
You know what? Let me do this, guys, because I don't know if you can hear him good. So let me do this. My apologies. His video volume is low because he's using a poor setup. Very, very poor setup. So let me do this. Let me do this to try to increase the volume. I'm going to have to run it through my software and double the track in order to get a higher volume. So give me a minute. If I had my Bluetooth speaker next to me, I would connect it to that, and then we'll be able to have really, really good volume. But I want to make sure that the volume is good for you guys, because I know it could be very, very low. And if you know anything about video, Your video quality could be poor, but if your audio is poor, the viewer won't forgive you for that. They'll get very upset. One of the things they'll say, I can't hear nothing. They'll get mad. So let's fix this volume. Make sure everything is good. Let's try this. Let's see what we got.
I'm here, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to have y'all in here. Glad to have y'all tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the building. What's going on? I'm just plugging up my phone and all that good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to have y'all in here.
It's better?
All right, where's my cords?
Should be better.
All right, what's going on, man? I'm here. I'm in the building. Glad to have y'all tuning in. All right.
Let me fast forward a little.
FBA shirt, ladies and gentlemen. In the room, I'm going to need everybody to please post. All right. We are ready to chop up great game as we always do. Classes and say, yeah, my office don't have an air conditioner.
What?
My office doesn't have air conditioner. I have fans in here.
How you have an office and have no air conditioners? This man got millions of dollars saved up that he got from the black community, and he don't have no air conditioning in his office. That's sad, man.
Because my office is it's on a whole different part. It's outside of the main house. See, that's the thing. So it's not getting the central air of the house. My office is like a whole different house.
That's sad.
My office is really like a guest house that
Now,
I turn into an office.
Tariq, let me call you out on your bull crap. How are you a foundational black American and you don't know how to set up an HVAC system to that part of the house? How you don't know how to do that? How you don't have the foundational skills, the skill trades in order to set that up yourself, or at least just pay somebody else to do it? How could you sit doing a podcast, burning up in a room with fans running, knowing that fan noise is going to be in your audio mix? Does that make sense? This is embarrassing. How could anybody take you serious? A grown man, and you don't even know how to create a branch line? You don't even know how to get the air to get to your location? Bro, this is sad, bro. This is sad. I could set that whole system up immediately, fam. I know how to do that. Let's go.
It's hot as hell in here.
It's hot as hell in
But
there.
I'm all gravy. It's all gravy, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Detroit. Shout out to the family. Let me shout out my moderators.
I don't want to hear none of that.
Cool. Well, we're going to have a good conversation tonight, family.
Hold on.
Oh, we're going to have a deep conversation tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we're going to have a deep one tonight.
Hold on. Let me fix this.
Where are my mods? I see Brother Michael Warden, Brother Wartox. I see, where's Nikki the God? Nikki the God, where's Ebony Dean? Where's Ebony? I only see Wartox. Okay, I see where my chat at. Where's quickly? But yeah, we're going to talk about spiritual energy. We're going to get deep tonight. Now, family, you all know the situation that happened with our FBA sister, Sonya Massey.
Notice he called Sonya Massey their FBA sister. They don't know nothing about her, but they already labeled her FBA. She could be a tether. They just labeled her FBA. They don't know nothing about her.
Our good sister, Sonya Massey, FBA sister, who was unalived. She was executed unjustly by a suspected race soldier.
Now, he said that the guy is a suspected race soldier. I would agree that she was executed unjustly. That I agree with. Definitely. It was a horrible thing that happened to Sonya. At the same time, Tariq is also a racist. That's another thing that you guys must understand is that Tariq, he don't like white people. He called them race soldiers, white supremacists, and various other hateful, derogatory terms. Let's go.
A couple of years ago, 2024, We all remember she was in her house. The police came by, and she was talking to the police, and she was boiling water, and she was just calmly talking to the police, and she was talking about the hot water on the stove, and the cops pulled a gun on her. She was like, "Oh no! I mean, what's going on? What's going on?" And they acted like she was going to throw the water on them, which she wasn't. She only had a pot, and this race soldier acted like she was going to throw water on him. And they just executed this innocent sister. They shot this sister. They executed our FBA sister.
See how he had to say FBA again? He got to keep planting that in your mind. Now, he said they executed this sister. There was only one person shooting. Only one. But he said they. There was no they.
This was 2024. The race soldier, she's only 36 years old. Extremely unjust. Sonya Massey. Ashe to the energy and the spirit of Sonya Massey.
You hear what he doing?
So the streets spoke up. We said there has to be justice. There was judicial justice. The race soldier named Grayson, he was incarcerated. They gave him 20 years. We didn't think that was enough, but they gave him 20 years. All right? They gave him 20 years. And also, I pointed out when the shooting happened that he had some tattoos that kind of looked like alleged white supremacist tattoos.
You see?
But
You
that's
see?
another thing.
White supremacists. Didn't I tell you?
So they gave him 20 years. He was in prison. He was trying to get out earlier this year saying that he has cancer, whatever. They wouldn't let him out. The ancestors took him on out today. He passed away. Oh, he croaked.
You heard that? He said the ancestors took him away. The ancestors? Where is that in the Bible? Where in the Bible does it say ancestors are killing people? This is some ritualistic, ancient belief system that he's working on the people. Let's go.
He croaked, ladies and gentlemen. The ancestors got him on up out of here.
The ancestors.
Boy, them FBA ancestors cleaned his clock and got him on up out of here.
You hear this?
Ladies and gentlemen.
FBA ancestors.
Shout out to the FBA ancestors, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he got life, all right. No. See, no. Oh, he got life. Oh, no, they tried to give him a little slap on the wrist. No, the ancestors said, no. He's going to get the death penalty.
He said the ancestors said, no. He's going to get the death penalty. So this is the FBA leader, Tariq Nasheed. Now, I want to know, how many of you FBA followers worship the dead? Because according to Tariq, the so-called FBA ancestors, which these are not my ancestors because I don't worship the dead. I don't know nothing about that. I'm not praying to ancestors. I'm not praying to dead people. I'm not looking for dead people to be spirit guides. Whatever he's talking about here, guys, if that is something that you believe in, then you're sick. Because you're basically saying that dead people who already done passed on, that somehow they conspired to kill Grayson. That's crazy.
Shout out to the ancestors, ladies and gentlemen. Family, we keep saying that these FBA ancestors are not playing.
He said the FBA ancestors are not playing. How many Bible believers follow this FBA garbage, and yet your leader is telling you that the ancestors is not playing? Where is that in the Bible where it says your ancestors are killing people for you? Where in the Bible did it say pray to ancestors? Because when you look this stuff up, it says that this belief derived from African culture. That's right. This belief system that Tariq have derives from African culture, but he claimed FBA. Make it make sense.
Family, I want y'all to understand something. We are in a delineation renaissance for foundational Black Americans, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we're going to get spiritual tonight. I got to talk spirit tonight. Oh, I got to talk spirit tonight. He was only, 30-something years old. He was a relatively young guy. Got cancer, got up out of here.
Do you see how he mocking him? He said he got cancer. He already had cancer, Tariq. Grayson already had cancer when he shot Sonya Massey. He didn't get cancer after he shot her. He already had it. So why are you lying by saying he got cancer?
Won't the ancestors do it, ladies and gentlemen? I keep telling you, family, I'm not just whistling Dixie. People who cross us and are unjust to us in the middle of this FBA renaissance that we're having, this delineation where we're honoring the ancestors.
So you guys are honoring the ancestors? Is that what FBA followers are doing? So you're not honoring God. You're worshiping the dead. The FBA movement is a movement of the worship of the dead. My God, bro. Why are Black people following this, fam? They're worshiping dead people, y'all.
Are listening and pulling up and coming through with it, ladies and gentlemen. All across the board. You understand? Notice everybody.
Notice an FBA supporter in the live chat, guys. He says, hey, Ringo, are you supporting this racist cop? When in this video did you see me support a cop? I am reviewing what an FBA racist is doing. Are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? Because I already know you're a racist too. Because your question shows that you hate white people. You already labeled a cop racist. He's dead. When a person is dead, what are you doing? They're dead. If you kill your op and your op is on the floor dead, what more are you going to say? They dead. We're going to still call them racist, this, that. They're dead. Move on. Oh, they're racist. They're racist. Black people are racist. The black community don't even get along. FBAs are racist. They hate black people. They hate black immigrants. They call them tethers all day. You worried about a white racist? Fam, I'm more concerned with you ninjas. Y'all worse. Y'all worse than the so-called white man. And at least the white man, if he's a racist, he mind his damn business. But you'll focus on hating your own people. If somebody don't agree with you, you hate them. You don't know how to agree to disagree. You just hate them.
Who publicly gets out here and does something against us, our lineage, things go left.
You heard what he just said? The ancestors are going to make things go left for anyone that speak against FBA people. So what Tariq is saying, that if you question this movement, the ancestors are coming to kill you. Now, why would you want to follow a movement where demons, because that's what I'm calling them, these ancestors that FBA people following, these are demons. These are disembodied spirits, devils. These are witches and warlocks, and they are literally releasing curses and sending curses to people to try to kill them. This is why you're supposed to be prayed up. This is why you're supposed to have a connection to God and rebuke those devils, because they're releasing curses. Tariq Nasheed is a warlock. He do spell casting. The Bible don't tell you to worship the dead. The Bible didn't say spirits are killing people. Why would he be saying that? That's crazy, man.
All across the board. That's why they don't want us speaking power into our ancestry, family.
You see that? They don't want us speaking power into our ancestry. Guys, every one of you that have the ability to utter words, you can cast down all of these curses that these devils proclaim. You got people that you don't even know that are praying to demons every morning for your death. You got co-workers that every time they see you come to the job and you driving your nice car, they mad, they jealous, they bitter, and they're hoping for you to get fired. They hoping, they're praying. They want you to lose your job so you can't pay your rent, can't pay your mortgage, can't pay your car note. They want to see you die, and they're uttering these words. This is why you supposed to make sure that you give your own self positive affirmations. You got to tell yourself in the morning, I'm blessed coming in, I'm blessed coming out, I'm more than a conqueror, I'm successful, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm full of wisdom and knowledge. You know? This is why the scripture says, no weapon formed against thee thou shalt prosper. Any tongue that rise against you in judgment, thou shalt condemn. And the scripture says, this is the heritage of the saints, which means you have the power in your tongue. Death and life is in the power of the tongue. A lot of people are speaking death over your life. That's why you got to speak life over your life, because these demons, these witches and warlocks are out here all day proclaiming your death, proclaiming your downfall. You got to utter life with your tongue. Life over your children, life over your business, life over your job, life over your home, life over your community. Why? Because you got evildoers out here that are praying to the devil every day for your downfall.
That's why they don't want us speaking power into our ancestry. That's very powerful, ladies and gentlemen. When you speak power into your ancestry, those ancestral spirits, they come through for you.
What? So this is what these content creators believe in? Guys, y'all saw the video that I did earlier. I released a video about these damn narcissist demons that push that FBA garbage. This is what they believe in, y'all. They believe in spirits, channeling spirits and demons into the earth to work for them. This is why they're so evil, guys. This is coming directly from Tariq Nasheed's mouth. Now think about all the content creators I expose who push this FBA garbage. They get that ideology from this damn animal right there, fam. They're channeling demon spirits.
Now that we are speaking on our foundational Black American ancestors and giving them respect and honoring them, we're activating that energy. That is very important.
They're activating the energy, man. That's why they're trying to collect all the people. What does the Bible say? One will put 1,000 to flight, two will put 10,000 to flight. It says that if one or two are gathered, they're in the presence of God. The more people that join that FBA cult, the more energy they got to release these demons.
That is so very important, ladies and gentlemen. I want y'all to really understand that. And we're seeing people all across the board, the minute they say something crazy, they up out of here.
You see that? As soon as they say something crazy, they up out of here. This is witchcraft. This is witchcraft. So you're not allowed to say nothing, guys. So basically, FBA followers believe they're above reproach. You're not allowed to criticize them. Anything that you're not allowed to criticize, something's wrong. When people believe that they are above criticism, that you can't question nothing, something is wrong.
Family, there's a spiritual awakening with delineation. Delineation is not just a political strategy, it's a frequency shift.
He's focusing on making money. That's all Tariq Nasheed care about. Money. He's using the people's energy to take your life force. Guys, there is something called destiny swap. Energy harvest. Guys, when you're resting, demons are up working. Do you understand me? When you are sleeping, demons are up plotting. This is why you got to be working at all times of the day. Why? Because when you're working, they can't channel and harvest your energy. When you're not working, the demons, the devils, the witches, the warlocks, they're harvesting your energy. They're destiny swapping from your life. And that is how they become successful off your energy. But when you're actively working, actively doing what you got to do, they can't get in. What do they always say? An idle mind is the devil's playground. So when you're just sitting around, not doing nothing, idle, what's going to happen? You're going to be doing ungodly things. This is why it's important for you to hit the gym, get an activity, do something productive with your life so that your mind stay occupied and there's no way for these entities to harvest energy from you because you're using your energy every day to work towards your goals. A lot of you have dreams and goals and visions and things you want to accomplish, and you've been allowing life issues to sabotage your momentum. When you become lazy, stagnant, you're allowing demons to harvest your energy. Because if you're not using it, somebody else will. You ever seen anybody jump a car? You ever see somebody take the car, the jacks, hook it up to one car, hook it to the other to transfer energy? Guys, energy can be transferred. And people are transferring energy all the time. They'll take your energy from you. Sometimes you'll have people, they'll call you on the phone. Hey, how you doing, man? And they'll talk to you for a whole hour. You get off the phone, you feel drained. Why you feel drained? They took your energy, man. You could take energy from people in many different ways, guys. I gotta do videos on this stuff, man, because this stuff is deep, man.
A lot of these people, they wanted us to view ourselves as generic Africans so that our unique political capital and our historic weight can be easily exploited. When we claim our exact heritage, we're rejecting that erasure. And then we're calling on the specific energy of the people who survived chattel slavery, who survived Jim Crow, who built the infrastructure of this nation.
Built the infrastructure. You can't even get an AC in your house. You talking about ancestors that built the infrastructure. I cannot stand when Negroes are always talking about what ancestors built, but yet you can't even build nothing in the black community. Explain that to me. Explain to me how you a foundational black American and all your ancestors built the infrastructure, but we can't build nothing in the black community. Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. Why the black community is run down? Why the black community have no businesses that are black owned? Why we don't got black schools? You got these grifters and these race hustlers like Umar Johnson talking about he building a school for black people. He building this. Where's the school? Where's the curriculum? Where's the students? How many years he been building this school? He been hustling the people, taking their money. But when you go into New York, you look at the Jewish community, they got their own businesses. They got their own schools. They got their own hospitals. They got their own stores. They got everything. They working together. They building. But yet, the so-called black man, black woman been in America all these years, hundreds and thousands of years, and yet we still don't got nothing. But the Jewish man got a hospital, a school, stores. What? How he do it and you can't? Explain that to me. And don't tell me nothing about racism, because black people as a whole have over $1 trillion in spending power in America. Black people got money, but we don't use it to build nothing. We put our money right back into the other nations. You go to every predominantly black community, you see nothing but stores and businesses of the other nations. African stores, Asian stores, the liquor store is not owned by black people. The Asian stores, the Chinese restaurants, the 99-cent store, all these stores are owned by other people. So as soon as you get your paycheck, you're going right to Miss Chin to get your nails done. You're going to the so-called the lady store to get your hair done, the weave done. Your guys, they're going and buy rims at the Asian man's shop, at the white man's store. You're going to the African shop to get this and the shea butter, and you're going here and there. Every dollar you spend is going to the other nations. Every dollar. None of it is going back into the black community.
That specific call, it activates that profound ancestral presence that cannot be ignored or marginalized, family. Do y'all feel me? Because I'm going to talk spirit, because we've been needing to have a spiritual conversation.
Tariq Nasheed don't even believe in the Bible. And you got a lot of so-called content creators talking about their FBA and Hebrew Israelites and following God, but yet your leader, Tariq Nasheed, don't even believe in the Bible. Man, I tell you, these people are frauds.
See, when we speak respect into our lineage, we sever that parasitic energy. For decades, man, a lot of external groups, they've siphoned off the political capital and the spiritual energy off of foundational black Americans to build their own platforms.
What? That doesn't make no sense. You're jealous because other people know how to grind and they know how to do what they need to do. What God do you serve, Tariq? Tariq, what God do you serve? Are you leading people to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Is Tariq Nasheed a believer in Jesus Christ? Come on. He's not. So what do most FBAs follow? What God do they serve? Because they're talking about lineage. Okay, where does this lineage lead back to?
Often, while they will disparage us, see, when we delineate, that cuts that supply off. When people stand on a...
Do you hear? Supply. Doesn't that sound familiar? Those other content creators that I exposed, they talked about all this delineation and how it cuts off their supply and all this other stuff. But yet these very same people go to the white man's stores and give their money to get the white man's supply. So which one is it? Which one is it? Because when these so-called FBAs need something, they got to go to the white man in order to get it. You got to go to work, you got to get off your ASS, and you got to go to the white man in order to get it. I don't see no FBA companies, FBA businesses that are hiring nothing but FBA people. All of you so-called FBAs got to get off your ASS and go to the white man's job. You got to do it. Ain't no delineation, ain't no cutting off no supply. If you don't go to work, you ain't going to eat. Bottom line.
Energetically in their spiritual truth and their lineage truth, you create an impenetrable spiritual boundary. And those who attempt to cross that boundary with malicious intent, they find themselves operating without the protective buffer of our stolen energy.
All of that stuff is witchcraft. None of that stuff he talked about God. None of that stuff have anything to do with the Bible. That's all witchcraft and energy. All of that mess that he's talking there is witchcraft, guys.
So that leaves them exposed to the consequences of their actions, ladies and gentlemen.
See?
Yeah.
And what that does, it puts fear in people that don't have a connection to God because they believe in him. He become their savior.
And we're watching the scales balance in real time. See, when individuals build their careers off anti-FBA rhetoric and they commit heinous acts of violence against innocent FBA women and all that.
Notice how he's talking. He's talking as if though somebody that speaks against FBA are committing crimes of violence. In his mind, you're not supposed to criticize. You're not supposed to question. You're not supposed to hold what they say to public scrutiny. You're supposed to accept it. No, we don't accept it. I don't accept your FBA bull crap. It's crappy. It's divisive. It causes division. It promotes hate. It don't have no love. This is what I'm seeing every day. All they do is spread hate. That's all they do.
They invite a destructive energy into their own lives. You see?
I rebuke that in Jesus' name, Tariq. All those curses that you're releasing, I put them back on you and your children's children's. Do you understand me? All those curses that you're speaking on people that have any sort of question against FBA, all those curses that you're trying to release, I condemn them things, fam. None of that stuff is going to work because you have no power, because your God is the devil. You don't serve the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You serve the devil. And as long as I'm acknowledging the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, he got my back.
Real out here. That's why when we saw Charlie Kirk,
you see, he hate white people,
disparaging us publicly, and we saw what happened to him. The dominant society, they understood there was a spiritual element to that. That's why they were calling up threatening HBCUs.
It's interesting that the only time this FBA organization talk about something is in regards to somebody dying. You ever notice they don't talk about nothing being built? How come with all this FBA stuff you guys talk, how come we don't see communities being built, land being bought, houses being developed, businesses? Where is it? But y'all always talking about somebody dying. Oh, Charlie Kirk got killed. Why? Because he talked about FBA? So Sean Grayson, he dead because he shot an FBA woman? Like, this stuff don't even make sense, guys. But when it comes to prospering the black community, Tariq got no answers for you.
About that. They know. They know, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah? They know. And understand, man, when you speak your ancestors' names.
What?
I want y'all to understand how powerful that is, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen to this witchcraft. He said, when you speak your ancestors' names. So you're invoking spirits. That's what FBA does, y'all. This is a demonic religious movement. This ain't no lineage. Tariq is seducing you into witchcraft. Listen.
That's extremely powerful. Be it good or bad.
Be it good or bad. He said, be it good or bad.
Be it good or bad, it is still powerful. Be it good or bad. But the white T supremacists, they understand that.
Wow.
They understand it perfectly. I want y'all to feel me. See, when you speak your ancestors' name properly, who are foundational black Americans, you refuse to let your ancestors die twice. See, there's a physical death and then there's a historical death.
A historical death? Where is that in the Bible? Where is he getting this mumbo jumbo from? Where is he getting this from? This is bull crap, fam. Come on, y'all. Y'all graduated high school, right? There's a historical death?
See, historic death, that happens when nobody remembers your name. Nobody tells your story. Nobody knows what you built. Nobody understands what you sacrificed. See, we've been tricked to sit here and give our ancestral energy, give our respect to foreign deities.
Oh, foreign deities. You hear that? Foreign deities. What is he saying? He's taking a shot at those of you that believe in Jesus Christ. Those of you that believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's telling you that he don't believe in that stuff. But yet you got these content creators pushing this FBA garbage while mixing it in with the Bible. You can't. Your leader is proven that he don't believe in that Bible. But yet y'all keep pushing these lies on black folk.
That's a big mistake. We're supposed to give that energy to our people here. You understand? When you say my grandmother was from here, my grandfather worked this land, my great-grandmother was here, my great-great-grandparents built this community, these are their names. See, you're doing something bigger than just genealogy. You're pulling these people out of anonymity. You understand?
You hear this madness?
This is why in ancestral traditions around the world, names, graves, photographs, objects, songs, stories, all of that stuff matters.
Witchcraft.
It revolves around that. And your ancestors, they continue to function inside the community because the living people, you continue to invoke their memory.
What? So this is what these content creators believe in. Invoking spirits? And you're wondering why you got a lot of these damn weirdos out here doing tarot card readings, talking about spirit telling me this, talking about spirit told me that. You got these damn people listening to voice boxes on YouTube, sound boxes, talking about the ancestors is speaking through some sound box, and you got a bunch of people viewing this garbage content packed with lies because they're doing witchcraft, y'all. You're watching tarot card reading YouTubers talking about they giving you a reading, talking about the ancestors giving me a word for you. Bro, that's witchcraft.
So spiritually, somebody might describe that as basically you're activating ancestral energy by respecting them and properly respecting them. When we say foundational Black American, you are automatically giving honor and reverence to your ancestors, which activates them for you.
What?
That's why the energy is so powerful. Why do you think every time we say foundational Black American, people lose their damn minds?
No, we don't lose. People don't lose their damn mind. We understand that you're crazy. This doesn't make any sense. You're literally talking about spirit guides and spirits. You said that the ancestors killed Sean Grayson. How? That doesn't make sense. They're dead.
These are words. And people lose their minds, ladies and gentlemen.
He want you to lose your mind. He want you to be delusional.
Let's get deep now. There's a reason for that. People ain't tripping because this shit ain't powerful. People ain't tripping because this is not powerful. This is very powerful, and they know that. They didn't want us to tap into that. You understand? See, the white supremacists, they understand the power of historic memory. This is why they got Confederate statues all over the place. They know their evil ancestors, what they've done. They want that energy still up. They put them on money. They put their statues and name streets after them. They know. You see, they know.
This man is a warlock, fam. He sits in a room with no AC, and people actually believe in him. They take him serious. A man sitting in a hot room, burning, with fans all around him. And y'all taking him serious?
They want to keep that particular energy alive. When we call on our ancestors, we shut all that stuff down.
The Bible is not a book about ancestors. The Bible is a book about the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. The Bible is not a book about ancestors. You're wrong. The Bible do not promote the worship of ancestors. The Bible does not promote the worshiping of the dead. It don't teach you to look for your ancestors or pray to your ancestors or any of that stuff. You're supposed to be devoted to God and Him only.
You understand? We shut it all the way down. So the thing is, when they put up a Confederate statue or something like that of one of their deceased ancestors, they turn that into a living symbol of power when they speak the name and give it reverence. You see? Who controls ancestral memory Ladies and gentlemen, they have enormous influence over the consciousness of the descendants. And the energy you feed into your ancestors.
The energy that you feed into your ancestors. Do you hear the witchcraft, guys? Didn't I tell you about destiny swapping, energy harvesting? He's telling you that you got to feed the energy to your ancestors. That is literally disembodied spirits that is able to exist through your energy. This is sick, man. I can't believe people following this guy.
That matters because the memory can serve good or evil. You see? Our ancestors stood on business and they were righteous people. And they stood on justice.
Righteous without God is not righteous. When you say righteous, righteous in what context? Because in order to be righteous, you got to be in right standing with God. And Tariq don't promote the Most High. Tariq don't quote the scriptures. Tariq don't believe in the Bible.
And they didn't sacrifice what they sacrificed for us to forget about them, ladies and gentlemen. We're not supposed to forget about them. Yeah? And that's why us doing genealogy and learning more about our foundational Black American ancestors, it should not just be about finding the names. It should be about restoring the chain of memory. You understand? For foundational Black Americans, this is powerful because American slavery and Jim Crow kept trying to disrupt Black family records, surnames,
Fam, we're in 2026. This guy is still talking about Jim Crow. We're in 2026. This man is talking about Jim Crow.
Property ownership, literacy, inheritance. They've been, the dominant society did everything they could to stop our continuity, but we just kept getting back together. We created the concept of family reunions. We kept forcing ourselves to get back together. Despite all of the attempts to just tear us apart, we kept making it happen. We have the will and the fortitude to just keep on coming back to each other, making a bond with each other. You understand? It's heavy. So our ancestral power, it becomes strongest when remembrance creates responsibility in the descendants, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, let me see if I could do this. Wait a minute.
Ancestors.
Let me see if I could do this. Give me a minute, guys. I just realized something. Because he's talking too slow. He is talking way too slow. And I got a lot. I didn't even... Damn. Let me see. I don't even know if I'm able to do this. I'm wondering if I should. Let me see. I'm trying to make it faster. Let me see. So that's 129, 129. Let me get this. 129. Hopefully this is good. I'm trying to make it faster so I don't have to be here all. Come on. $129. 9. Okay. I think I know how to do it now. Hopefully this works. Trying to speed it up. Okay. Let's see if this works.
Really, and collectively, we're really the only ethnic group, the large ethnic group that's standing directly on the blood and the bones, being on our behalf, ladies and gentlemen. That's why the more we speak their names, the more people who talk against us, things go left.
Okay.
Charlie Kirk, charge when we tap in with those ancestors. I want us to understand how unique we are. See, we let these people run a Jedi mind trick. You never thought about it like that. A lot of this is why it's important for us to wake it up and understand who the hell we are, because we sit up here and let people who don't know who the hell they are project that onto us. See, somebody said they never thought about it like that. I want to see. This is why I put on your damn thinking caps. We let people sit up and tell us we don't know who we are. The hell we don't. Who don't know who we are? Yes, we do. Our lineage as a foundational Black American ethnic group, see, when you look at yourself as your unique group, you see how deeply rooted you are, ladies and gentlemen. More deeply rooted than everybody here. Do you feel me? Some of us family, people, we sat up here and let people run a game on us. You let foreigners come over here. I know in my homeland, these niggas, you don't know who you are. We let folks run that game. These are people whose homelands aren't even older than our grandparents' homes.
Do you see how he hate people? He busy talking about people, but yet, what is he doing for the Black community that is out here? Nothing.
Do y'all understand that? Some of us, we got homes in our family from our parents or great-grandparents that's older than some of these damn nation states, and you're letting these people tell us we don't know who the hell we are?
Where is Black Wall Street, Tariq? Why FBAs have no FBA schools? Why is it that FBAs gotta depend on the white man? Why FBAs don't have their own markets? Why? Why FBAs haven't come together to solve the problems in the Black community? Why there's so many fatherless homes if the Black man is a FBA, a foundational Black American, but yet there's no foundation in the home? Explain that to me. Explain to me why Black men aren't taking care of their kids if they're foundational. Why Black women get with men that don't want to be providers and husbands, but they still have babies for them if they're foundational Black Americans. Why do they make bad choices?
Shame on you for letting them. See, I go in on them. They know not to play with me because I know their history and I know mine.
Tariq, listen to me very carefully. You are a warlock. You have been deceiving the people for a long time. And you won't have a word to say about Ringo TV. Never. Because you YouTubers, you fear me. Because I'm the one who walks these streets and I say what needs to be said. And I don't sugarcoat nothing.
I don't want to go history for history. I can go all the way back. Raise your hands, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look in the room. How many of you got family in the South whose homes still in the family going back to the 40s and 1950s? Raise your hands. Raise your hands, ladies and gentlemen, if you got, because I know some of you got to, because I do. Raise your hands, ladies and gentlemen, if you got homes or land in your family that's still in the family that goes back to the 1940s, the 50s. Give me the year. Give me some of the years, family. I see a lot of folks raising them hands. Give me the years. Give me some of the years, ladies and gentlemen. Damn near most of you. Somebody said 1920s. Yeah, I'm still in the family. Well, you can go to now. You can go to the home now. Do y'all know that we are really the only ethnic group who had that? We're the only ethnic group who can go show you our family homes going back 70 plus years.
You know why? Because ain't none of y'all building ish. That's why. whereas other ethnic groups are building houses of their own. Y'all busy passing around that same damn house. That house been there hundreds of years. Nobody in the family could afford to buy a new house. That's why that house is still there. It's not because of, well, you're a foundational black American. It is because nobody is working to build a damn thing. The one who was able to get that house way back in the day, years ago, that was the one that was working. In today's day, y'all busy want to get handouts. Y'all don't want to work for nothing. Y'all don't want to build nothing. And y'all expecting grandma to leave you the house. You expect grandma's labor to be enough for you to get her house. You got black folk trying to inherit a house. They don't want to build one. They want to inherit it off of the labor of someone else. And that is what the FBA movement is all about. They're clout chasing off of the so-called blacks who endured the transatlantic slave trade, the ones who were lynched, the ones that was castrated, the ones where the babies were used as alligator bait. These so-called lazy, so-called black Americans in this world right now, they want to benefit off the plight of the blacks who died during slavery. They want to benefit. They want reparations when they never been on a plantation. They never picked no cotton. They haven't even gone through Jim Crow. They haven't been through none of these things. They didn't have to listen to nobody telling them, go drink from the black fountain. Go to the restroom that's designated for black people only. These so-called ninjas in America right now have not experienced none of the hardship of the people of the past who died. They trying to benefit off the plight of their dead relatives. So these so-called folks who claim they FBA, they are the real tethers. Because they're trying to benefit as if though they're slaves. Let's go.
Most other ethnic groups can't do that because many of them are Ellis Islanders. Many of them immigrated later after the 70s. Though even the white people, many of them.
Look at this clown. He says, sir, you are benefiting from FBA. You are in their country. Their country? What are you talking about, their country? Did not black folk come here on cargo slave ships? Yes or no? What do you mean, their country? You don't own nothing here. Their country? When did America become black folks' country? Y'all don't own a damn thing in America. Y'all don't own nothing. Nothing. Black folk don't own nothing. This is their country. You're benefiting. Fam, everything that I got, I worked for. Everything I got, I worked for. I ain't benefiting from nobody. Ain't nobody do nothing for me. So what do you mean? You gotta go work for the white man. How about that? You gotta go work for the white man. You talking about your country, black people's country. If this was black people's country, explain to me how the white man put the black man in slavery. I'll wait. If this is your country, how the white man put you, your ancestors, in slavery? Come on now. If black folk are so foundational and powerful, how come black folk don't got no military? Where is the military for so-called FBA? Where's your military? Because a people that don't have a military is already conquered. Uh-oh. A people who don't have their own military is already conquered. So explain to me how this is your country when you don't run it. You don't run this country. How about this your country and everybody's benefiting? Stop it. You not even benefiting.
And
You busy begging the white man for reparations. Now explain that to me. How is it that these foundational black Americans are begging the white man for reparations?
were into white flight. They were moving left and right. The white middle class didn't really get popped until after the 1940s.
Notice the clown says, you don't have a military either. I'm not the one complaining. I'm not the one here crying about being FBA. I don't care. You know what my military is? The military that represents the United States, dummy. That's my military. You so-called FBAs are trying to separate yourselves. Well, if you're separated, where's your military? Where is it? Because I'm not here trying to be like you. I don't care about you folks. You can stay on that side with that madness, because that ain't going nowhere, and you ain't getting no reparations.
Do y'all feel me? A lot of white people, their homes don't trace back 70, 80 years like us, like many of us. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah,
Notice this idiot. He says, so then why did your family flee to the USA? Flee? My father is American, dummy. His daddy is American, dummy. His daddy is American, dummy. So what are you talking about, flee? Flee? Nobody that's in America is from America. You ninjas were on cargo slave ships. You ever read the book From Babylon to Timbuktu? Where did black people come from? So you saying that all the black folk that is here were here already? No, you were not. You came here on cargo slave ships. You were put on plantations. How could the white man take you in your own land? Explain that to me. You gotta be a weak people to let the white man come to your land and put you and your women in chains. You're weak. You're weak. Stop trying to live off the backs of ancestors. You are weaker than your ancestors. Your ancestors endured the atrocities. You ain't go through a damn thing. You don't have no backbone. Your ancestors was on the plantations. They had to deal with slavery. They were the one being castrated and whipped and lynched. You ain't going through nothing. Out here acting like a victim, acting like you deserve reparations. You're not even a survivor of slavery. Sit down.
There's a lot of y'all, down in New Orleans, them houses been down there in your family since the damn 30s, some of them. My family, Leeds, Alabama, and I've showed my family home several times. My grandparents' home. Still in Leeds. They built it in the damn 1940s. They had that land since the 40s. I want y'all to understand how unique that is. I really want y'all to understand how unique that is, ladies and gentlemen, and the spiritual energy behind that. You understand? Because that's historically rare within itself. And when foundational black Americans acquired these homes and built these homes, because most of them built these homes, most of these homes were built by your grandfather and your great-grandfather.
Those homes are not even efficient. Those homes are not even modern homes. Those homes don't have proper heating, proper cooling, proper plumbing. Those houses is trash. Have you ever thought about that, Tariq? Those old homes is trash. It really is. The septic systems in those houses is trash.
They built them homes themselves, and they're sturdy as hell, by the way. Understand, they built this stuff against hostile oppression, Jim Crow, redlining, predatory lending.
But what did you build? What did you build? You're busy talking about their accomplishments. What did you so-called FBAs build today? If the so-called black man, black woman were able to build those houses during very, very difficult times, what is your excuse for why you haven't built nothing when you're literally living in the land of the free, the home of the brave, hypocrite?
Domestic terrorism, And
You ain't build no damn America. Be quiet. You sound like a joke talking about we built America. You ain't build nothing by free will. Nothing.
understand, because they built those properties in a hostile environment, it wasn't treated as real estate that was just going to be easily.
This clown sitting here talking about you begging for likes. Ninja, you watching me. You're on my platform watching me live my life. You don't got a life. How you want to be on my platform complaining about me begging for likes? That's what YouTube is all about. You need likes, you need views, just like with everything else that's in media. Who posts videos and don't want to get likes and don't want to get views? That's the bottom line. That's like starting a business and you don't want to earn no money. You sound dumb.
They flipped. They were treating those homes like sovereign territory. You see? I want y'all to feel me. They were keeping you in mind. They were keeping us in mind. They were like, we have to build something that's sturdy, that's going to be in our family for generations, so that our grandchildren will have a place of refuge if they need it. That's why your family, many of you, you've been showing that your family's house has been there since the 40s and 50s. Year after year, families leave, they go through hard times, they come back to the house. They get it together, go back out there. That house was like a recharging center. It was a sanctuary so they can get it together. And our ancestors knew this. You understand? Your great-grandfather put land in a trust. Oh, yeah, they knew what they were doing. They sacrificed a lot for us. Grandma's still living in Big Mama house today. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the thing is, the whole myth of it, you think, I'm telling white tea people, they don't even have it like that. You see?
He said white tea people, they don't even have it like that. Why he always talking about white people rather than building the community? Why these so-called FBAs are always talking about white people, but they're not even building anything? What have Tariq Nasheed built with the so-called FBA community movement? What are they building right now? What are they doing? What exactly are they doing? And why are you FBA so hateful? Why are you FBA so hateful anytime somebody got something to say about your damn cult? There is no love in your cult. None. You folks are just hateful, fam. Anybody speak against you, oh, they're a tether. You're a tether. You're a tether. You're a tether. That's all you could do? You still in horrible conditions. The black community is still in shambles. Gang violence is still there. Teen pregnancies. No fathers in the home. No education. Black men don't want to be daddies. They just want to screw women and drink. In and out of prison. Felonies. Robbing and stealing. How come Tariq ain't solving those problems?
A lot of their wealth in their homes, they sell them quick. They flip them. They upgrade to newer developments. They built manufactured suburbs for white people. So they would move out into the suburbs and all these places like that. So the phenomenon of keeping the exact same physical house on the same land continuously, going back 70 plus years.
So all you idiots that don't like me, please understand something. You're watching me. You know why? Because you love Ringo TV. You're a fan. If I wasn't doing my job the right way, you wouldn't even be here. You're here because I'm the #1 ticket on YouTube. I'm making the most sense. And it hurts you to know that I'm so intelligent.
Extremely rare, and it has an ancestral energy to it. You understand? There's a strong ancestral energy to that. And again, when they were building these houses, they understood they were doing it for longevity. That's why those houses, especially in those hostile areas, all of you people who said your family got houses that old, I can almost guarantee they got two things in that house. They got a basement. Don't they got a basement in that house that's damn near like a fortress? All those houses, if they're still up, from the 40s to 50s.
And they have a fireplace.
I can almost guarantee that that house got a basement that's like Fort Knox. It's like a damn fortress in that basement. Yeah? And they have guns all over that house. All right?
Guns for what?
Fortress-like basement and guns everywhere in the house. Yeah?
Guns for what? You planning on going to war?
Because they understood what was happening. They understood that we had a need to protect ourselves. And an attic, yeah, the attic. But yeah,
why do these FBAs keep saying you want to be us? What does that mean? You want to be us. You ain't nobody. Why would anybody want to be you and you're a nobody? I'm me. You're watching me, remember? I'm a professional content creator, music producer, film director. I'm in my lane. I'm doing me. Why would I want to be you? You're nobody. You're watching me. You want to be me.
Basement. Oh, yeah, that basement. Yeah, the cemetery, too. That's another thing, too. If your family's house was built back in those days, I can almost guarantee you there's a cemetery.
Notice, FBA just says you're brainwashed with the Bible. Didn't I tell you that these FBAs don't follow the Bible? I told you, they follow the satanic Bible. They don't follow the Bible. So when you see YouTubers talking about their FBA, Hebrew Israelites, and they rep the God of the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, them people are frauds. Because the FBA movement do not promote the Bible. Tariq never promote the Bible. Never talks about Jesus Christ. Never talks about the prophets of old. He keep religion out of it.
Damn walking distance from there too, where your people are buried. There's a cemetery close by where they're buried. They're not buried too far from that house either. Because if it was built in the 40s and 50s, that's in the height of segregation. So it is in a segregated area. And in those segregated areas, the cemeteries were pretty close by. Like in Leeds, Alabama. We got 2 cemeteries out there. But one is like my grandmother's house, like a 10-minute walk. You can literally walk to the cemetery.
Right, there you go.
Right next door, right.
That's a good one. What is FBA doing for those FBAs in Indiana with the power outage now? That's a good point. What is FBA doing? How come FBAs are not raising money to support the FBAs that are without power? Y'all ain't doing a damn thing. You know why? Because you're broke and you don't care. You don't care about your people. It's all a grift. What is FBA doing for FBAs that are in Indiana due to the power outages? What are they doing? What are they doing? Come on. Nothing.
Right. Those old neighborhoods with those old houses, the cemeteries are real close by, adding more continuity to the spiritual energy, ladies and gentlemen. That energy is really concentrated.
You see? Energy.
I want y'all to understand, it's extremely concentrated. That's why those homes are powerful. Those homes are very, very powerful, ladies and gentlemen. That land becomes more than just property. It becomes a physical archive to your bloodline. You see? It's deeper than just real estate. You're walking on the same ground that your grandparents and great-grandparents walk every morning. You're walking on the same ground that your mom and them grew up in, where your family reunions were. You're sitting on the porch where your grandmother would shell peanuts or something. She was out there shucking corn. Yeah? Come on now.
Listen, Tariq, Umar, all of these race hustlers, they're all the same. They all the same. These guys are no different than these so-called pastors, man. The Jamal Bryants, the TD Snakes, Creflo Dollars. All these guys are hustlers and pimps. They prey on black people that are uneducated with they're slow, delusional, easy to manipulate. That's why churches are big businesses. That's why these pastors, you ever notice that in the black church, all the pastors are millionaires. They're all rich. They're all driving Rolls Royces, Bentleys, Lamborghinis, Corvettes. But those of you that are in the congregation, You got to take a skateboard to church. You got to rollerblade to work. You can't afford a car. Can't afford to live. Living from paycheck to paycheck. Struggling on public assistance. Imagine that. You in church. Now watch this, fam. You in church. The pastor's telling you to pray to God, believe in God, but you on public assistance, struggling, but you praying and believing in God to supply something for you. Nothing ain't coming, fam. I tell you that all the time. Prayer is not magic. God is not a genie in a bottle that you rub and he just give you what you want. You got to work towards what you want. You got to grind. You got to put in the effort. That is the only way you're going to become successful. As you work, God will open doors. God is not doing nothing for us if we're lazy, stagnant, and we're sitting around. Once you start working, grinding, moving, that is when doors open. If you need a job, could you sit home? No. You got to go out there and fill out applications. You got to go into these stores. You got to look the part. You got to hustle. You got to be hungry. And as you go, God will go with you. He'll direct your steps as you go. Whenever God told a prophet to go do something, they had to go do it. As they go, God is with them. When God was with Moses, Moses had to go and God showed out. That's just the way it works. If you sit around lazy, not doing nothing, God not going nowhere. That's just the way it is, man. You got to do something. You want to start that business? You waiting on God? God is not doing nothing. You got to start it from the ground up. And then as you do it, the customers that's supposed to patronize your business, they will come. Because you did the work. Stop being lazy.
So for a lot of foundational Black Americans, that land has a lot of energy because our people really had to do a lot to possess it. They had to do a lot to possess that land. And also they were out there in the garden. I can almost guarantee that house had a garden or has a garden that your family had to.
What exactly is a sellout check? I hear you guys talk about these checks all the time that everybody's getting. I'm trying to figure out what exactly is these checks and what kind of money are these people making? Because this is what I only hear Black people talk about this. They're always saying somebody's selling out. They getting checks. They're making all this money. How y'all know? The only way you can know is if you sold out too. That's the only way that's the only explanation. How do you know that somebody's getting something? How do you know that? The only way you can know is if you get it yourself. Because it takes one to know one.
Grow things. They would grow vegetables, fruit. There's fruit trees. Almost everybody had a fig tree. I talked about that before. Those fig trees were very spiritual. Not only would they make jellies and jams and all that stuff with those figs, but fig trees are very spiritual. There's some things in the Bible talking about freedom as having a vine and a fig tree. So a lot of foundational Black Americans have these fig trees in their homes or around their.
Once you start spamming the chat, that's when I'm going to start to block you, right? It's one thing if you want to have a conversation, but once you start coming in here and you start to spamming garbage, you start doing stupid stuff, I'm going to start to block you. Then I'm going to put the whole live chat on members only, and none of you will be able to comment. So if you're going to come in here, be a civilized human being or don't post no comments at all. Let's go.
Homes, and that was for protection. You understand? So it was a healing energy around the house. You understand? That's why people would go back to those homes, those foundational Black American homes, to get spiritually grounded. So your grandmother, your big mama had a whole backyard. It was a garden. You damn right she did. My grandmother too.
Spiritually grounded? You got to get with God for that, fam. You can't. What do you mean spiritually grounded? You don't got God? That don't make sense.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's why if you notice, when we were children back in those days, notice how we rarely got sick. I want y'all to think about that, especially my Gen Xers like myself. Notice if you grew up around your grandmother's house or somewhere down there where they had a garden and all that, we didn't get sick like that. We rarely got sick. And none of y'all asses ever had to go to the hospital for nothing unless you needed stitches. None of y'all had to go to no damn hospital back in those days. We never got sick. Why? Because we eating organic food. Grandma and them and granddad was out there.
I haven't gotten sick in years. I don't get sick. Last time I probably got sick, I was probably in my 20s. I'm 49. I don't get sick. You can ask my wife. I don't get sick. You know why? Because number one, I stay away from crazy ninjas. I stay away from stress. I stay away from NPCs. I avoid negative people, negative family, and just all of the nonsense. And what that does, that keeps my mind at peace. Sickness comes when the body have been stressed by the plagues of life. It's not because of something you ate or the lack thereof. It's all based on what's going on in the mind. When your mind have pressure, you're going through mental pressure and you're dealing with a lot. There's a lot on your mind. That now stresses the cells in the body, which is supposed to protect your system, your organs, everything else. And because the cells are stressed, it's not protecting the system. And then, lo and behold, you come down with issues. That is how people get sick.
Making shit in their garden, wasn't all them preservatives and shit in it. They knew how to can stuff and pickle it. Yeah, we never got sick. You had chickens and cows and, man, have y'all ever had homemade ice cream, nigga? I'm on some real shit. You ain't had, who has had homemade damn ice cream before? I've been looking for somebody to do the, nigga. Nigga.
This man talking about homemade ice cream, bro. And he don't even have a fan in that house. Make it make sense. He in there sweating and burning up.
Nigga. I ain't tasted nothing like that since. Nowhere else. But we never got sick. At all. Because the minute we cough, Grandma and them would go in that cabinet. Oh, that a cough? Oh, no, Grandma, I'm just clearing my throat. Give me that spoon. Go get me the spoon. Get me some baking soda. Give me that castor oil. And she goes and concocts a whole...
Think about what this person said in the live. Says, so all the bogus food that the United States is feeding us don't have anything to do with us being sick. Yeah, you're starting to sound like a Democrat shield. You sound like an idiot, because if you feel that there's something wrong with the food, why are you eating it? Because you're stupid. It's just that simple. See, there's nothing wrong with anything. That's in your mind. Your mind convinced you that something's wrong with the food. Well, if that's the case, why are you eating it? It's because you're stupid. It's just that simple. If you think something's wrong, grow your own food, do your own thing. But because most of you so-called FBAs don't know nothing about agriculture, you don't know nothing about raising cattle, you don't know nothing about nothing. So you sit down, you complain about the system, you complain about food, you complain about everything, but when you're ready, you go to the Chinese restaurant to buy Chinese chicken and pork fried rice.
Bunch of other shit. Grandma's gonna get that shit up out of you right then. Grandma's gonna get that shit up out of you right then. They didn't play about that. If you had a cough, anything, they're gonna get it up out of you.
Listen, back in the day, when you had any sort of cough, your mom would get that thing called cod liver oil. Y'all remember that? Cod liver oil. She used to get the honey with the lemon, and some, what's that stuff? That apple cider vinegar. Yeah. And she would create a little whatever in the cup and give you one spoon. Zap! That cold is gone. How many of you remember? How many of you remember cod liver oil? How many of you remember your mom would come, your granny would come with a big old spoon. Take this, you know? And you'd be like, I don't want no cod liver oil. Take it. As soon as you take it, your cold is gone.
We just didn't get sick back in those days. Now, because kids are now all in the house and shit, coughing and wheezing with asthma. Dude, we were outside in that grass in the sun. We needed a snack. McDonald's, we didn't go down there. We didn't pick a plum off a tree. You understand?
I don't know why these people keep comparing me to these other YouTubers. I don't talk with these YouTubers. I don't care for them guys. I'm not with none of them. So please stop comparing me to these people on YouTube. All these YouTubers are grifters. All of these guys are just hustlers. Everybody got their own grift and their own hustle. Let's go.
Lemon, right? Cod liver oil, castor oil, all that shit.
You see? You see what he just mentioned? Cod liver oil. You see what he just mentioned? Okay.
It was a healing thing. They understood how to heal. They knew. They understood. Those homes were healing and spiritual incubators.
Grandma always had a medicine cabinet with all the stuff you need. You understand? She would have a special cabinet in the house that had first aid, Band-Aids, things you need to take, whatever. And she would create natural, organic home remedies. I've seen this done in the house. I've seen my grandmother do these things. For some reason, they understood what to do. You understand? It ain't like how now you got to go get Pepto-Bismol. You got to get this medicine, that, this, that. Back in the days, it was none of that. The only thing I could recall back in the day was Tylenol. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, it was all home remedies. And they worked. They worked. You know? They would tell you to eat beets. I didn't like eating beets. You know what I'm saying? But they would say, eat it. You had to eat your beets, certain vegetables that was just horrible. But those things were creating good blood circulation, keeping the system clean, cleansing the body, detox, all that stuff naturally. Today, people don't know nothing.
They were healing incubators, ladies and gentlemen. So we have that energy. And see, it's important that we tap back into that energy, ladies and gentlemen, and respect that energy because it's rare. It's very, very rare, ladies and gentlemen. You understand? I remember as a kid, I think I went to the hospital about 3 times and all of them were for stitches. The only time we went to the hospital is we bust our head or some shit or broke our arm or something. We would have to go then for some kind of surgery. But other than that, if you didn't bust your ass, you didn't need to go. You didn't need to go at all. But we got to understand the importance of our ancestral energy and giving them the respect that they're supposed to get. It's very important that we understand that. There's a power of speaking respect into the lineage, ladies and gentlemen. The linguistic activation of ancestral power. See, just saying the words Foundational Black American, it's not just a social label or political label. It's a linguistic activation of ancestral power.
So that means all these blackity blacks that listen to this guy all day, they're being brainwashed. Yeah, they are NPCs. Most humans are NPCs. A lot of your neighbors are NPCs. A lot of people don't want to believe this stuff, but there's a lot of people that live around you. They're not human. They're NPCs. They're bots, you know? Some of you might be the only human in your community. You might be the only one that's real. You know? Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. How many of you, fam, live in a community and you never see your neighbors shop for food? Put a 1. If you live in a community and you never see your neighbors shopping for food, you don't see no bags, no grocery bags. You're like, whoa, Ringo, you're right. I don't see them with no grocery bags. What the heck? What do they eat? They're NPCs, y'all. I'm telling you, fam. I see these neighbors. I don't see no food. I don't see no shopping. I'm like, do y'all ever eat? What the heck going on in that house? Those are NPCs.
For a long time, family, the dominant society, they tried to erase our specific footprint by grouping us into generic categories to basically separate us from our true inheritance. When we boldly claim our foundational Black American lineage, we're overriding that erasure.
I think that you're right. Somebody said, who said that? Shapira says, we are their food. I think that's true because they're trying to harvest our energy. Our energy is their food.
We're vibrating the atmosphere with a very specific energy, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a profound spiritual economy that comes in play when foundational Black American lineage is respected. When we honor our ancestors and we define who we are and we defend.
I don't listen to Tariq to try to learn anything from him. I'm doing a reaction video. I'm reacting to the content to educate the YouTube community on how this FBA lineage movement is bull crap. It's all about witchcraft and sorcery. That's all.
In our specific history, we're feeding them. In return, they feed us. It's a reciprocal loop. And the more respect and unapologetic pride we pour into the lineage, the more our ancestors are more empowered to move on our behalf, and they protect us and give us a protective spiritual shield.
You heard that? Tariq said that the ancestors are protecting us, that they're giving us a spiritual shield. Guys, this is witchcraft and sorcery. This is African traditions. This is not biblical knowledge. You're not supposed to worship the dead or look to the dead to protect you. These people are dead. They're not living, guys. This is sickness, man. It's a sick guy.
And they open doors that the dominant society tries to lock on us. That's why these people who harm us, the ancestors are like, oh, I got it. Oh,
Really?
I got it. Oh, I got it. Don't.
So your ancestors go around harming people who disagree with you? That's what the ancestors do? They go around killing people? So who's God? The ancestors? Who's in control? Who controls the ancestors, giving them the authority to do these things? By what authority do these ancestors have right in the spirit realm to affect the physical realm? Explain that to me, Tariq.
Oh, I got him. Yeah? See, there's a swift reality in spiritual justice. See, we're witnessing in real time what happens when people, entertainers, media personalities, race soldiers, they decide to disrespect our lineage while we're activating that spiritual energy. The ancestors are not passive. You try to mock, undermine, or bring harm to us, you're triggering a cosmic tripwire.
Really? So explain this to me, Tariq. If that's true, how come all the other nations are still in power after they took the black man and black woman and put them in slavery? For 400 years, chattel slavery, but yet the white man is still in power. The black man is still on the bottom. The first fired, the last hired. They're dealing with all of this victimhood mess, constantly crying about reparations, begging for crumbs. You talking all this crap about what ancestors are going to do, but yet the ancestors didn't free the slaves when they were in slavery. Black people didn't even free themselves from slavery. It was the white man that decided to free you. You didn't free yourself. The black man did not free himself from slavery. The black man had no power. The white man had to decide, look, let's let these slaves go. It was the white man that ended slavery. You ain't end nothing.
You see? You can think this shit is a game if you want to. The ancestors are coming through with swift spiritual justice.
You hear that? Not God, but the ancestors. Tariq don't believe in God, fam. He believe in dead spirits, dead people. And this is what these FBA guys believe in low key. All those content creators that I expose, that's what they believe, guys. They believe in demon spirits working on their behalf. That's why they always telling you God is going to judge you. Judgment is coming. God is going to get you. Oh, you're speaking against FBA? Watch. God is going to get you. Yeah, God is going to cancel you. Why do you always want harm to come your way? How come it's never something good? It's always something bad.
See, there's an invincibility. When you define an identity, there's an invincibility to that. When you proudly say who you are and who your ancestors are, hey, these are my foundational Black American ancestors, you strip away confusion that makes a lineage of people easy to exploit. See, a people without a specific defined lineage, they're easily manipulated. They're disrespected.
You're the one exploiting them, Tariq. You're manipulating them for cash.
Who want to use them as stepping stones.
That's what you're doing.
You understand? That's why I don't like them scamming tellers going down to Selma and all that shit. They get caught scamming and then they want to run to Selma trying to get our ancestral energy for their scams. No. See, when we anchor ourselves in our foundational Black American identity, we build a psychological and spiritual wall, and it signals to the world and the spirit realm. We know who we are. We know what we're owed. We know what we represent. And that makes us very, very powerful. And we break the cycle of generic exploitation. For a long time, people, they thrived off disrespecting our culture while profiting from it.
What culture? What culture and profiting from what? You just said profiting from a culture. What culture? What are they doing? This don't make no sense, man.
Because we've allowed ourselves and our ancestors to be treated as generic and an easily accessible commodity. We should not have done that and let that bullshit go on so long. You understand? We let bullshit go on way too long, ladies and gentlemen. So this foundational Black American Renaissance, ladies and gentlemen, that puts an immediate stop to that. That spiritual energy we receive by delineating ourselves, and that's not disrespectful. It's not disrespectful at all. We're recognizing and respecting who we are and who our lineage is. That cuts off that energetic supply to those who mean us no good. When they lose access to our foundational energy, their endeavors flop. Their platforms crumble.
Notice, he said their platforms. Did you get that? He said their platforms crumble. So Tariq is jealous of YouTube platforms where we're able to voice our thoughts against this bull crap that they're selling. He want our platforms to fall. This has been the war that's been going on social media. And what happens is a lot of these FBAs behind the scenes, they be false reporting videos. They be going to YouTube. They go to the white man to make complaints about you. But then they claim that they are delineating, that they're this, that they're self-sufficient, they're FBA, but yet they run to the white man to try to shut you down because you're too good at what you do. Why is he worried about YouTube platforms? Why is he worrying about content creators? Because he's watching your pockets. He don't like the fact that we created a niche where we're able to speak against his bull crap and still get paid.
True intentions are exposed for the world to see, and there is a supreme dignity of the bloodline. You understand? When you say the words foundational Black American, you're giving yourself the dignity that this society is trying to strip away. That's why do you think people are kicking and screaming on how you look at yourself? I want you to think about that. When you say, hey, I view myself and my ancestors as foundational Black Americans, and then everybody freaks out, that means something is working. You're acknowledging that you don't have to look outside yourself to find greatness. You are declaring, brothers and sisters, that the blood flowing in your damn veins, that's the exact same blood that survived the most brutal system in human history and still created the global damn standard for culture, music, resilience.
Listen, Black Americans that are here today that follow this FBA bullcrap, your generation is weak. The generations of old that had to go through all those atrocities, that was the strong Black people. You know why? You had to be strong or else you wouldn't survive. You folks today that cling to FBA is a weak people. Very, very weak. You won't stand a chance if there was a major, major catastrophe in this world. You won't know what to do. You would literally kill each other and die because you don't know the first thing about surviving. You don't have no survival skills. You don't know how to do nothing. You don't know how to plant a garden. You don't know how to do anything. You don't know how to build a house from scratch. You would literally sleep outside and freeze or just suffer without even trying to do anything because you don't have no skilled trades. You don't know anything. You know what I mean? But when you look at the other nations, They got skilled trades. You look at the Mexicans, they always working on houses, building houses. They always getting called in to do a job. You don't see no group of black guys jumping on a truck to go work on a house. You don't see that, fam. You know why? They want to drink Henny and smoke weed all day. They don't want to work. They want to live off their baby mama.
That level of self-respect, that instantly elevates your spiritual posture. See, they never wanted us focusing on the lineage here because they knew that's where the power was. Yeah, you can't fool the universe. Yeah? See, that ancestral vanguard of protection. See, when we continue to stand firm on our FBA identity, we activate what's essentially an ancestral vanguard. The more we honor the lineage, the more aggressively our ancestors protect it and protect us.
Do you see that? He's believing in protection from his ancestors. That is what FBA followers believe in. Protection. They believe that their ancestors, their dead relatives are protecting them. Guys, this is sick. This is mental illness, fam. These people are crazy. They are officially nuts.
See, that's why those who bring irreversible harm to our people, they face a higher court of accountability. That the earthly system, they can't protect them. Yeah.
Tariq, you're talking pure bull crap. Black people were enslaved for 400 plus years and nothing was protecting them. Black men were getting lynched, no protection. Castrated, no protection. Nobody came to save the black men of old. You guys in today's day come on social media with microphones talking a whole load of garbage and none of y'all been through nothing. No struggles, no nothing. You're living good. And I can guarantee you Tariq live in a full-blown white community. He do not live around black folk. You understand? He live in a white community.
The ancestors are watching. The ancestors are active. They're ensuring that foundational Black American, our bloodline is going to be respected, protected, and victorious, ladies and gentlemen. You understand? Again, like I said, when I was talking about Charlie Kirk earlier, when he got unalived, and remember, Charlie Kirk got hit right when he was about to disrespect us. Huh? Right when he was about to disrespect us, he got hit by somebody in his own community. And what was the aftermath? They started threatening HBCUs. We didn't have nothing to do with it physically, but they knew there was something spiritual about it. They knew. Oh, they understand. I want you to understand. That's why they were calling, threatening HBCU.
Man, tired of hearing this dude, bro. I mean, I wanted to finish the video, guys, but he's like, you just get drained listening to that guy, fam. It's just like, I can't really sit there. It's like, I got to do my job, but fam, when I got to sit here and listen to this kind of garbage all day, bro, it's like, only a stupid person could sit there and just keep listening and take him serious. Like, I can't take this dude serious, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I'm going to get up on out of here, gang. If you enjoyed the show, double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up, guys. I wasn't even coming on, to be honest, fam. But, you know, I gotta grind. I got to hustle. I got to do what I got to do. And even when you tired, fam, you got to grind out, fam. Just like when you go to the 9 to 5, sometimes you don't even want to be there. You don't feel like being at work, but you got to work. You got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? But I think this was a good show. I think I broke down a lot of stuff. It got good playback value. And yeah, I think this is a good one, fam. You know? And I could get other videos out of it. If I would chop the video up, I could get more videos out of the video where I can, you know, put on my other channels and whatnot. So all in all, y'all have a blessed one. Drive safe if you're on the road. If you feel tired, fam, find a rest stop, fam. And if there's no rest stops in sight, then get off that road, go find a fast food place and just park your car and just get a few hours, man. You know what I'm saying? If the cops show up, they'll understand. You know what I mean? It would be better for you to stop and rest than to be on the road and cause an accident. You know what I mean? Because when you tired, bro, and you driving around, bro, that road start looking weird, bro. You start looking around, dozing off, bro. Man, I tell you, man, you don't want that. You don't want that. So shout out to everybody. If you're new to the platform and you like my content, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, double tap, give it a thumbs up. If you want to support my shows, gang, go into the channel description and hit the Cash App, fam. $ Ringo TV Raw is my Cash App. Bless the Cash App, support the work. If you want to use PayPal, you can use PayPal. It's in the video description under all my videos. So shout out to all of you folks that support the work. Again, we're going to have more content later on. I got a lot of things I got to do. I got to get some rest, fam. I didn't even plan to be up. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to hit the park at 8 o'clock, fam. It's 5 now. I'm going to try to get some rest and see if I can get up. You know what I'm saying? Because my girl's got to get up right now, like literally. Like, I'm going to get up. I'm going to go grab something to eat. But I need to get some rest, and I got to get to the park. I got to go work out. I got to bust this stuff out early, man, till I can get back in the house. You know, it's like my schedule is messed up a little bit, you know? So, yeah. When are you coming back online? I don't know. That's why you got to subscribe, hit the notification bell, set it for all so that when I go live, you get a notification on your phone. Sometimes you just got to check YouTube to see if I'm on. Because a lot of times YouTube don't send out the notifications. They be hating, you know? Sometimes you just got to look for me to see if I'm on. Because I get attacked by all these YouTubers all day. They try and shut me down. They've been hating on me. To learn more about that, go to the video section on this channel where it's under the category videos and look at my latest upload that I put out there, fam. It's a must watch. It shows how sick YouTubers are and how they plot against me, fam. Some real evildoers, fam. Like some sickos, man. Very, very evil people, man. Because doing content is not easy, y'all. A lot of y'all think doing content is simple, it's easy, and you're making all this money. Fam, people don't understand the half of what goes into this, bro. You know? It don't make no sense. I don't got time for that madness. Black Americans are loving people. Black Americans are loving people. Go watch the video I just said to go watch and tell me if those black Americans are loving people. You saying it's bull crap. I've known and learned that our people are wicked as hell, fam. Wicked. We can be the most wicked people, bruh. Very, very hateful towards their own. Sad, sad. Anyway, rate, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you all in the next video. I'm out of here. Peace.